Well, hello folks, my name's Ian and welcome to my shed. What? No, don't go there. Right, so it's only yesterday since Paul, the Knackler's workshop, left and left me with some space. You know, well done Paul, thanks for taking all that away from me, you're welcome to it. And of course, the day before that, I had a weigh-in at the old anvil yard, a full carload. So you think I would have a load of space, wouldn't you? Well, I think there's something like a conundrum goes on. I think there's a law, Ohm's law, well, something like that, as in inverse square law. I think the more you make space, the more the material you already have expands to fill that space. I'll prove me wrong. Anyway, have you got a welder? Can you just? And in this instance, it's a resounding no, I can't. What am I talking about? Difference here, although the chicane has gone, but there is a big difference in here. You know, we cleared a mountain of stuff over there. Still got to sort that out. We have got workspace, floor space. Now I thought I was on my last tub, and it works out of actually 3 tubs left to of smalls to sort out. But let's get back to the nitty-gritty. Have you got a welder? Can you just? People may recognise this as a sewing machine motor, held on with a bracket. That screw goes in there, holds it onto the sewing machine. Those 2 screws go in that slot and holds the motor to the sewing machine. And he says, can you weld? I said, yes. Can you weld that? I said, no, because it's cast aluminium. I did say I could weigh it in. So I said, no, I can't weld that. I said, I will attempt to glue it. And I've got this, and it's not a paid promotion. I actually bought this from Aldi. Gorilla Glue, glues everything to everything, sticks like shit. I've never had any luck in my life whatsoever with glues, apart from wood glue. That works, but super glue, well, it's great for sticking your fingers together. So I'm going to attempt to glue it. That's got its own problems, as in you've got to apply pressure. In this case, I'm going to have to apply pressure from there to that way, and likewise with that. So I've got this, which is my stand. It just fits in the vise there, and I've got my bench grinder which screws into that. So I reckon I can screw that to that. I can put a infill piece in there, find something that's just the right size. I don't know, maybe a bit of angle iron. Something the right size in there. I'll probably put some, so we've got it screwed down there, it can't go that way, so we've got to stop it going that way and that way. So some screws in there, some blockage here, and then something here to force it that way. So we'll fiddle about and sort that out, but It's about 1/4 inch thick, 6mm. So that's got me thinking. I tend not to use this as a rule. 60mm for you Americans, that's like 2 inches and a bit. So I had a root around in all my stock. I found 2 pieces of material. One is aluminium, so I could make this out of aluminium, and it's just the same width. And I also found some 6mm 60 by 60 mild steel, and pretty good with a grinder, so I'm sure I could make that out of steel. Right, to make a template, first of all, I'm more comfortable working with iron than I am with aluminium, and it's silver because that's the only tin I could reach at short notice, and it's a matter of let's make a template. Ta-da! Easy peasy lemon squeezy. But let's get back to so if the gluing doesn't fix, if the gluing doesn't work, I really doubt that it will, I'll cut one out of that. Wow, should be easy to profile that out. Now, if I only had a milling machine. Eek, right. Screw that to that. Well, that's easier said than done. Screws, eeny meeny, miny more. Let me show on the door. Boosh. There's one. There's another. See, matching pair. You just couldn't make it up, could you? Mind you, that means you have to keep every screw that you've ever taken out of anything, and every nut and bolt that you've ever taken out of everything, and keep them for just in case you need 2 just the same. Does it really matter? It's a piece of wood. Okay, so that's screwed down tight, so it can't go that way. I've got to apply pressure. I've got to put some glue in between there, and I've got to apply pressure that way against that. And I did a routing about upon my shelf where I keep all the rods, which I keep off the printers, etc. And I came across a split pin, spring pin as they say, which was a pretty good fit, you know, and as luck would have it, exactly the right length, just a little shorter, so I can apply pressure that way. However, it's not quite the right fit, but I did find this little pencil, which I don't know if you can hear this. Well, you heard that, didn't you? Push fit. So I'm going to sacrifice this pencil. Sorry, pencil. that gives me that when I glue it, I don't have to worry about inwards movement because it's such a tight fit. But I mean, I have to cut the pencil a little shorter, nail some of these on the outside like so. Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. Figure a way of applying some pressure that way. Easiest thought is stick an elastic band round. I've got everything in this shed you can ever want or think of, but I don't have any elastic bands, so I'll have to think of something else. And I was all thinking, I've marked that, thinking, how do I cut that? Well, if you remember that tool I picked up when I visited Bob's yard, what? Well, nicely sharpened up, as you can see. Nice little sharp, I reckon, do the job. Or not, as the case may be. Oh, beautiful. So there you go. Picked up and came in handy day after. I just love that sound. Right, so in theory, that's going to work. I can spin those round afterwards to hold it in, and then focus, and we have a clamp that we're going to clamp it all together with. If this works, I'll plat sawdust. Okay, we're all set. The instructions say it cues with moisture, so there we go. You damp one side and you glue the other side, and then you grip it. So got this little candle here with a bit of water in it, so we're going to dip that end in there, which as you can see is beading on there, which is not very good. Well, it is what it is. It's a two-handed job, so I'll see you when I've finished. Tiny bit of glue applied by the end of this screwdriver. That goes that way. So, and it's all a matter now of bring these across, clamping shut, and there we go. And like I said, if that works, I'll plat sawdust. So on to part 2, because I think it'll be needed. So this bit should be relatively easy. Gone through my drill bit selection and found one that's just right. So a drill hole there, and then up with an angle grinder either side, drill hole there and there, and then with another one which, as you give me that one at the other end, and join them up somehow. That bit's easy. Cut out with an angle grinder. Can leave it a little bit bigger, don't have to be so thin, give it a little bit of more rigidity, and job should be a good one. So eyeballed centre punches, first hole drilled. I could go along and drill a series of holes, which I may do, just to make me grinding out a little easier. Get these done. Rough earth engineering at its finest. Okay, so the battery's died on the cordless, so I've had to dig out a very old, well, it's a scrap drill, but it works. It's a little bit dodgy, but it'll do the job. I've already done 3 holes with it, and if I was a little bit more organised, I'll be able to use the pillar drill, but that's 2 hours of cleaning that up for a 3-minute job. Well, I certainly know why that was thrown away, and That's because it's stuck in hammer action. Ears! Okay, this bit's relatively easy. I know it's not got a guard on, but I'll just be careful. Up that side, up that side. And you can see I've gone a little bit wider than the mark, and that's just a matter of cutting it out. Well, that's beginning to look something like, isn't it? The middle bit's hand filing. Ow! It's a bit warm. So it'll be functional. So we'll sod the filing. I moved from a slitting disc, which is only like 1mm thick, to a cutting disc, which is about 3mm thick, and I've used a part worn one, and with a little bit of careful grinding I've got that, which it's a good idea, isn't it? Touch it to see if it's hot, which there we go. To me, will do the job. I can always put a washer around it, can't I? It is here. It was a snap fit. Oh, I don't know. Look at that. Close enough to be happy with that. So if the gluing don't work, for the sake of an extra 15 minutes and a bit of burst stock steel, and just got to do that. That's probably going to be scribe a line and work with a Dremel and a thin blade. Right, see how we go on. Oh well, ladies and gents, must say it was easy enough to find my Dremel accessories, and I've even got one with the a nice big grinding disc, cutting disc on, because that was just kept there. There's another Dremel accessory box. However, I haven't got a clue where my Dremel is, so it's either under there, under there, under there, and God forbid it's behind there. Right, I'll find that. Well, a short while ago, Dubious Engineering gave me this torch with a printed accessory which fits straight onto a DeWalt battery, and he makes them that fit on other batteries. Like, you click that together on there and you get a torch, and please roll on, look at that, straight away. That's me Dremel! Yay! The job's turned easy. You know folks, always wear a safety shield, even if you're using a Dremel. Here we go. Right, that turned out to be a grinding wheel, not very good, so I've moved on to these cutting wheels which don't last very long, and seat size of my hands and them, and then there's a screw on there which you need a magnifying glass to get at. I tell you what, this thing doesn't half eat these tiny little discs. But there we go. Got a little bit of cleaning up on the inside with a file, and if that don't work, then that will. So ladies and gents, here we go 24 hours later, and let's see if it's stuck together. Ooh, I think there's chances. Well, that's what the paper was there for. And it does appear to be not glued. Oh well, I do get my pencil back, I guess. Made that. Now, I guess I could, for aesthetics, round the corners off. Let's put that on top like that, so the hole's not too bad. So there we go. I think that's more than doable. A little bit rough first, I guess. But with a bit of spray with black, job's a good one. So now with all my tools put away, I'm going to do two things. One, I'm going to do what I said I was going to do in the first place and throw the aluminium in my aluminium tub. And the second thing is, I've taken my flat disc off and I'm now replace that with a sanding disc. And I'm going to treat myself to a nice shiny bench top. Well, that's nice. Shiny. And the bracket, well, I'm going to call that a success. So that's it. Another adventure of Ian in his shed. And I'll hope to catch you all in another video soon. Take care, everyone.